Live, going live. This Hangout on Air is live. Hello from Lindsay's Kitchen. This is a new experiment, and as I said a second ago in the chat room, it appears that Steve is in charge of the sausage making today because we can't get his audio working. So wave at the camera, Steve. Wait, here, I'll highlight you. Wave.
Hey, everyone. Hello.
Oh, so I have to tap on you, Steve, for you to be able to get visual because you won't come up automatically because there's no sound.
That's the kind of control you want.
Yes, this is perfect. No, but we can't hear Steve, so this is great.
So you're hearing me now?
I'm hearing you down the hallway.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming nobody can hear Steve. Is that correct? Why is he lying down, Sandy says?
I'm not lying down.
All right, so you guys figure out what's going on here. So he's using my Zoom H2 microphone. We have undone that mic and swapped in just using the built-in microphone. He's tried it in Chrome. Wait, you do hear him? How?
Why is it?
Sandy, are you hearing him on the video? Because according to NosillaCast, he has no audio coming through, and according to the Google Hangout, he's not got anybody coming through. So, can anybody else hear him, or is Sandy hallucinating? Because I don't see how you can be if I can't hear him in the Hangout. I hear him on the video. Well, okay. Denise can hear. Well,
so I'll just shout really loud for you to hear me down the room.
That's perfect.
Of course, the people in the chat room won't appreciate me shouting, but
53726 says they can't get into the new chat room. So, all right, let's see. We got to do some roll call here. Don't worry, Lindsay and Forbes will be here momentarily. They're at a brewery having a couple of tasters before the live show, but they will be making an appearance for sure. Why are we in the kitchen? We are in San Diego for a week. We came down for the Miramar Air Show. The Miramar Air Show takes place right there, like 10 miles that way, 15 miles, something like that. So we've been watching the Blue Angels go by all day, a bunch yesterday and a bunch today, and having a bunch of fun. And then we're staying through Thursday because Lindsay and Nolan are going to a baseball game, I think. So we're just going to spend the whole week down here. So we've got I've got my MacBook Pro here. This is my C920 camera. You're listening to my ATR 2100 from Audio Technica. I've got an old Dell monitor for my secondary monitor, and Steve is using my Zoom H2 hooked up to his MacBook Air. So yeah, this is their kitchen. There's some liquor. There's the growlers are all up here, and all the beer glasses are right here.
By the way, I'm talking now through the internal mic because we thought the Zoom was having the problem.
So Steve is talking through the internal mic. That's interesting. Okay. All right. So NC_pipe 53726. You are in the live chat room. So to change your nickname, you can type a /. Wait, what is it?
/Nick.
/Nick space and the new name you want to go by, so we know who you are. All right, let's do a little roll call. We've got Brett and Kevin and Nick and Dan made it in. Good, glad to see that. And Denise and Dorothy and whoever 53726 is. Rain is Oklahoma. That must be George. Sandy, Mark, and Rose just stuck in under the hour. Oh, there's John. So John must have been the one in the using the, not the app, but the website. So John, I don't know if you're here or saw the announcements, but we changed the chat room to the new one. Did you know about the new one? Maybe Steve can type that in for John and others. If you want to configure your client. Yeah, well, the advert was that we get to see a lot of sausage being made was a good advert. Yep. Steve's audio is it. That is so weird. Why can you guys hear him?
No, I think the question is, why can't you hear me?
Well, no, so in the Google Hangout on Air, I have a series of little green dots that light up when he talks, and they're not lighting up. And in the app, it comes from NosillaCast, there's little dots that blink there if he's talking, and those aren't blinking either.
So Google Hangouts may just be...
So yeah, the Google Hangout, well, oh, here's another example. Let me make sure this is done right. There we go. Now talk for a second, Steve.
Testing 1, 2, 3 for the NosillaCastaways.
Okay, so he's talking, and the Google Hangout should have changed it to his face if Google was hearing him, and it's not.
And you're not forcing it to your...
No, I just unforced it. I did have it forced on me.
Well, leave it that way. Leave it unforced for a bit just to see if it comes back.
I am leaving it unforced right now.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe your mic podpiece is picking him up. I don't think so, because he's way down the hall. He's just very, very, very faint here. Oh, we should probably shut off the air conditioning, I think, for the recording.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
All right, Steve's going to turn off the air conditioning. I'll do a little test recording just to make sure you guys can hear playback. Here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com. All right, that was the recording. Let's listen to playback. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com. All right. Ooh, you and Nurse did cleaning cells of Sierra. Woo. All right. Okay, looks like we're doing okay. I'm going to relegate the chat room down a little bit lower. Can you guys confirm that you heard playback? Okay, Steve's shaking his head, but that's because he wasn't there.
Try it again.
Original sounds better than replay, which was weak. Okay, Steve wants to hear it again. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted. Okay, Steve gave me a thumbs up.
It is a little less volume, but hopefully the quality is okay.
Okay. I don't really control that.
All right, run with it.
I don't think. I don't think I have any control over that, do I? Where would I control that?
I would just go with it.
All right. All right, time to get the show on the road. So Lindsay and Nolan they're going to show up, and the dog's going to start barking. It's going to be anarchy. We got Dodger here. Nolan's mom is here. I threatened to put her on camera, and she had a heart attack, so that was fun. All right, let me get this viewing just set so we can see what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Macintosh bias. Today is Sunday, September 25th, 2016, and this is show number 594. Well, we're visiting our grandson Forbes this week, so if you notice a bit of difference in the audio, you're hearing my Rode mic, the ATR 2100 from Audio-Technica. Well, I had a complete blast on Chit Chat Across the Pond this week. Mike Elgin, who's a tech opinion columnist and often guest on the Twitter network. You might have known him as the former host of Tech News Today. Anyway, he joined us to talk about his life as a digital nomad. Get this, he lives for months at a time in completely different countries, just picks his whole family up and moves them to a different country. And he even sold his house, so he is a full-time nomad. We talk about the experiences he and his family have had living this way, how he works the finances on such an adventurous life, and of course, how he does his tech job living all over the world. He's got a great list of gear, and it's pretty interesting hearing how he made the choices of what to carry with him. Mike is an absolutely delightful guy, and I really think you're going to enjoy this. And I think they're home. What do you guys think? That's okay. They'll be here shortly. You can figure out where that cut is. Mike is an All right. What's funny is that the dogs don't bark when we get home, but they barked when Nolan and Lindsay and them got home. Oh yeah, they've been perfectly silent. We are live. Yay! Whoop! There she is. Here's the camera. Do you want to wear a head? Oh, actually, you can't hear anything because they're not talking. So we discussed. They noticed that there was beer up here, and then the alcohol over here. They were enjoying that.
A little bad how much alcohol is back here.
You got your Chargers shirt on?
Yep, go Chargers! They've lost at the very end.
Oh, I might have stolen a.
Good. Well,
what did I?
Show it off.
Oh, all right. Hey, we'll show this off. Have you guys seen these? It's called a Yeti. They're really, really expensive. Kyle got these for Lindsay and Nolan. He says not to open it over the. It's not like I'm going to pour it. In theory, I'm drinking an even keel.
Long fin.
I'm sorry, long fin. I always call it. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Whoops. I always call it even keel. But these are little thermal containers, and they keep the beer nice and cold.
Well, I need to go get Forbes to show them.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right. I can tell by the sound that I'm on this mic. See? He wanted me to scratch it.
Yeah.
But I'm listening. You're not talking. Oh, here comes Nolan with Forbes. I think Lindsay wants to bring him in.
Oh, no, no one can bring him in. He's never been on.
Oh. There he is. All right. This is Nolan, everybody. It's over here. And this is Forbes.
No.
Forbes, you woke up? Oh, here we go. There we go. All right, let's talk right into the microphone, Forbes. All right. A technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Macintosh bias.
A natural born podcaster.
All right, there's a lot of squee in the chat room. Did you just belch?
Yes, he did, right?
Did you just belch? No, you're supposed to cover your mouth when you belch. Oh, hi, Dodger. Oh, well, the live chat room's having fun here.
Cute. We need to do a screenshot
Oh, yeah.
of this.
Let's see. I can't hold it if you can't, but how are you going to do it and be in it?
Oh, I don't need to be in it.
We could steal it off the video later, too.
Oh, okay.
No, do it.
Control shift one.
Yeah,
Control command shift.
yeah, something like that. And then I
I'll
think
try
it's doing a
all of the
crosshair.
above.
It's doing a crosshair to do it, right? Oh, Forbes. And there are waggy tails, too. Oh. You need a belch button.
Sorry, guys.
John says. Oh.
Oh, your squishy trackpad didn't let me.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't work. Go get Theodore Barrington.
Yeah.
Because John's in the chat room. So John sent a bear to Forbes, not just any bear. Actually, the bear came on his own. A NASA bear named Theodore Barrington. Oh! Make him burp again, Kevin says. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Very good. Very good.
Oh, you're not liking
Oh.
that.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
good
that's your
job,
debut
Forbes.
is done. Kevin made him cry. That's what it was. All right. I think I will cut the dog barking.
Oh, he's gonna be, if I change him in here, he's gonna be on too.
I'll mute.
Oh, but Steve, that's not on the recording.
I can just mute.
They can hear him cry, but the recording won't hear him cry because I can't hear Steve. But you might want to close the door. Gear, and it's pretty interesting hearing how he made the choices of what to carry with him. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, did you open that on purpose? Oh, okay. Oh, no problem. Bye, Terry. Terry's shy. She won't come to the camera. Dodger will take your place. Okay. All right. No belching from me. So what did I just say? All right. I like all this stuff. Big squeeze. All right. What did I just say? It's very distracting. The choices of what to carry with them. Don't worry about the fact that you're hearing the closing music as well. That's just because I haven't slid it over yet. Let's see. What did I just say? One more time. He's got a great list of gear, and it's pretty interesting hearing how... Oh, yeah, what did I say right before that? Finances on such an adventurous life, and of course, how he does his tech job. Okay. All right. Mike is absolutely delightful, and I think you'll really enjoy this episode. If you're not already subscribed, search for Chit Chat Across the Pond in your podcatcher of choice, or you can listen right over at podfeed.com. Cancel. One more time. Mike is absolutely delightful, and I think you'll really enjoy this episode. If you're not already subscribed, search for Chit Chat Across the Pond in your podcatcher of choice, or just go over to podfeed.com and look for the post with Mike Elgin. It was really, really fun. I had a blast. Definitely going to have him back. All right, there we go. You're a good boy, Dodger. Carry with him. Mike is absolutely hearing how he made the choices of what to carry with him. Mike is absolutely perfect. That worked. Hi, Dodger. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, no, I did do that right. That's a miracle. All right. How much better is the iPhone Plus wide angle camera? This one. Here we go. Okie dokie. You're nice and quiet, Lindsay.
Like my dog and baby.
All right. Well, I'm closing and turning off those doors. What are you doing?
Don't worry.
No, I can hear it. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Wait one more second. What type of dog is Dodger? He sounds like a big one. You want to meet Dodger? Dodger, come here. Yes, he is a big. Come here, Dodger. Come here, Dodger. Dodger, come here. Come here. Oh, there we go. It's easier to move the camera to Dodger. Oh no, Nolan, you gonna pick him up? Oh, jeez.
75-pound line.
There he is. Is that big enough? Oh, there he is. Good boy. Good boy. He's a good dog. All right, Tesla, you got to have some airtime. Whoop. Tesla. Oh. We don't have any cats, only dogs. Dogs and babies. Tesla. Tesla. Who's a good dog? All right. Let's see if I can put this back so I can make it slow up there. There we go. It's a very serious show.
Very technology oriented.
Oh, yes? Okay. All right, we'll just chit-chat here. There was a lot of squee for Forbes. Yep.
Ada is home shopping on Amazon.
What was that?
Ada is home shopping on Amazon.
That's probably right. You know how she is. All right. Here we go. Right here. There's a lot of reasons we use to justify how much money we spend on our technology. One of my personal favorites is how we justify new phones. My contract is up, or it's been 2 years, or it's my turn, are amongst the more popular versions of this silliness. Well, it's my turn to get a new phone this year. Steve is on the S track, and I'm on the non-S track for the iPhone. We pay full price for our phones, so there's no logic whatsoever to this, but at least it keeps us from each buying a new phone we don't need every year. I mentioned earlier that I decided it was time to upgrade to the big girl iPhone, so I opted for the iPhone 7 Plus. My decision was made easier by the new dual cameras. I took that last week to spend some time testing the wide-angle camera in the 7 Plus against the equivalent camera in the iPhone 6, especially in low-light situations. The iPhone 6 and 6 Plus and iPhones before those have a lens with an aperture of f2.2, while the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus have an aperture of f1.8. Before we get into the comparisons, we should talk about what that means. First of all, the aperture is the hole through which light travels to get to. I've included some Wikipedia articles on this topic, and I'm going to be talking about F numbers in a second here, and you can go read those if you want to know more. But it's important to know that the brainiacs who decided how to assign the F values to the size of the aperture decided to make it a fraction. So when people say f2.2, they really mean F followed by a slash and then the number 2.2. This is important because as a fraction, the bigger the F number, the smaller the aperture. So the iPhone 6 at f2.2, they have a smaller aperture than the iPhone 7 at an f1.8. The size of the aperture on a camera has two major effects on photography. First, the larger the aperture, the shallower the depth of field. If you want everything in focus from the person in front of you to the mountain way behind them, you need a very small aperture. But if you want to have a flower in sharp focus with a blurry background, you want a larger aperture. I could explain this using the analogy of how our eyes work. When people first need distance glasses, you'll hear them say, "I only need them at night." The reason this is true is because at night, your pupil, the aperture of your eye, gets larger, and that causes a shallower depth of field, so it's harder to focus at night. But why does your pupil get larger in the dark? To let in more light. And that's the second effect that the aperture on a camera has on your photos. The larger the aperture, the more light you can get on the sensor. More light doesn't necessarily make your pictures brighter. Today's cameras, especially those in new phones, have highly sophisticated processors that will do things to compensate for low light. Specifically, they will increase the ISO, but that has a price to be paid. The higher the ISO, the more noise that will be introduced into the darker areas of your photos. So, if you have a smaller f number, like on the iPhone 7, that's a bigger aperture, which means more light gets into the sensor, which means the processor doesn't need to up the ISO, which means your low light photos will look less grainy and noisy. See how all this works together? But wait, that's not all. There's another effect on the noise in a photo, and that's the size of the pixels on the sensor. The smaller the pixels, the more noise you'll get, if everything else on the camera is the same, of course. The iPhone 6 camera is 8 megapixels, but the iPhone 7 are 12 megapixels. That's 50% more pixels on the 7 Plus's primary camera. Now, if they crammed 50% more pixels into the same size sensor, that would introduce more noise because they'd have to be smaller to get in. But they didn't just put in more pixels, they also increased the size of the sensor. The sensor on the 6 is 0.24 inches, while the 7 sensor is 0.33 inches. The 7 sensor is 1.375 times as big in the diagonal, so we have to square that. So the sensor is actually 1.89 times as big in area, or 89% larger. Okay, I can hear you guys talking in there a lot. Steve? Okay, no, I heard both of you. Between the dog barking and that. Is the door closed? Okay, where was I? So the sensor is actually 1.89 times as big in area, or 89% larger. So I assume you guys can hear the dogs, right? Yeah. What should I do, Steve? That's going to be on the recording.
Oh, I didn't hear it until now.
Well, they were barking through the recording.
It adds some, real life to it.
All right. We'll just keep going.
I think you can live through that.
Okay. Where was I? Right there. So Apple has not only increased the number of pixels by 50% on the iPhone 7, since the sensor is 89% bigger, that means the pixels are actually larger as well. Mathematically, we should see a big improvement in lack of noise from low light photos from the 7 Plus due to the larger aperture and bigger pixels. All right, enough instruction in math. Let's start talking about my real world tests. My process was to take a photo with both cameras, one after the other. I tried doing it at the same time, but I'm just not that coordinated. I didn't rig up a big pair of tripods, and I didn't use alignment tools. I lined the photos by eye, and I was careful to try to get the same field of view because that could cause exposure differences. I turned off live photos on the iPhone 7 Plus, and I turned off HDR on both cameras. I'm going to talk through 6 pairs of photos. 2 are in good daylight, the other 4 are in progressively challenging light conditions. I put a link in the show notes to the full-size, completely unmodified original images as a zip file so you can view them and really zoom into the detail and make your own assessments. First, we'll start with an outdoor photo of a deep red rose in bright daylight. This photo shows the least of the differences of all the shots I took. However, the 7 Plus shows better contrast in shadows and edges on the rose, giving it a feeling of more depth. The grass is a richer green, which may or may not accurately represent the color of the grass, but it's pleasing to the eye. Red is the channel most difficult to photograph, which is actually why I chose this subject. It's very common to lose all depth and get a flattened, blown-out look, even on a high-end digital SLR. I opened the images from the 2 cameras in Affinity Photo, and in the Develop menu, I turned on the Show Clip Tones option. This highlights in bright yellow any areas where the color is blown out, so you don't have to just trust your eyes to see whether it's well taken. Or I should say well exposed. I took screenshots of the 2 images showing the clip tones for the show notes so you could see the differences. While both cameras had trouble with the red of the rose and had significant areas blown out, the 7 Plus had much fewer problematic areas. Next, I took a cat toy we'll call Busy Bee. Extra credit if you get the movie reference. No, Steve, you don't get to play. Busy Bee makes a good subject because it's yellow and black fur bee with bright pink fur flower petals below it and a brilliant turquoise shiny set of wings up above. I put Busy Bee on a windowsill in broad daylight. Both cameras did a great job, and only in looking very closely will you see that there's more detail in the black stripes with the iPhone 7 Plus. If I wasn't searching for differences, I really don't think I would have noticed. Now, let's take Busy Bee for a trip under my desk. It's pretty dark under there, and I closed the shutters in my room to darken it even more. I put Busy Bee up against the black UPS for contrast that's under my desk. I have to say that both the cameras really did an admirable job under these challenging conditions, but the 7 Plus really shines here in comparison. It looks almost like daylight. The colors are rich, the image is clear, and the level of noise in the black of the UPS is dramatically better than on the 6 photo. You don't see the detail in the black stripes like we did on the windowsill in daylight, but other than that, it looks surprisingly good. I knew that a photo shoot without including Tessa would give me some hate mail, so I took a photo of her lying in her dog bed in my bedroom. It was daytime, but I've closed the shutters with the exception of one about 4 meters to the left of her. It's not dark, but it's definitely not ideal conditions. While both cameras did well, the 7 Plus has a little more contrasty look in the stripes of the bed. Her muzzle looks a little sharper, and the scroll work in the background is more detailed. It's not a tack-sharp photo by any means, but it's more pleasing from the 7 Plus. This was probably the closest neck-and-neck comparison photo, with very little to complain about in the iPhone 6 photo. All right, enough of these softballs. Let's really put the cameras to the test. Remember the outdoor rose? I decided to capture that at night, lit only by an incandescent security light that's maybe 5 meters away. I'm conflicted on which camera to declare the winner in this case. The iPhone 7 Plus image is much pinker than the rose looked to me, while the color representation on the iPhone 6 was more accurate. Accurate here must be defined by what I saw, right? Because color is only reflected light, so it's not really an absolute. On the other hand, the shadows behind the rose are not as detailed on the iPhone 6, with much more detail in the photo from the iPhone 7 Plus. Overall, the color bugs me enough, though, on the iPhone 7 photo that I'm going to give this one to the iPhone 6. The final test was also a nighttime test. Our front driveway is lit only by a pair of low-wattage carriage lights on the front of the garage that are pretty much only decorative. To the side of the driveway is a flower bed where we have a plumeria plant. And you know, the one with those marvelous little colored flowers that Hawaiians make the leis out of and smell so extraordinary. Anyway, I should point out that neither camera could smell the flowers. This night, this nighttime photo with the plumeria was absolutely no contest. In the iPhone 6 photo, you can see the flowers, but they're dark gray and the leaves of the plant are just dim shadows. Almost no detail in the dirt at all is visible. But in the iPhone 7 Plus image, the colors are bright and true. The leaves are well lit, and you can even distinguish small rocks and clumps in the dirt. I don't want to imply that this is a good photo by any means, but the iPhone 7 Plus image is significantly better by a wide margin than the iPhone 6 image. Now, I had expected to be blown away by the camera in the iPhone 7 Plus, and I am, but I'm also blown away by the camera in the iPhone 6. The wide-angle camera in the 7 Plus is an improvement, and the addition of the second lens to get optical zoom is fantastic. I'm also looking forward to the new software coming out, and they said sometime in October that will help us take that nice bokeh portrait, you know, the kind with the fuzzy backgrounds. I love portrait photography, so that's going to be cool. Now, I want to give a shout out to Bart Bouchat, Stephen Getz, and Mark Pauley, all of whom looked at these images with me and helped me point out flaws in the photos and discussed at length whether any of it mattered. I think the takeaway from the study is that if you've got the need for a lot of indoor photography in less than ideal lighting, you probably will notice the difference with the iPhone 7 Plus. If you're a pixel peeper, you'll definitely notice the difference. But if you've got the iPhone 6S or even the 6 and don't have the funds or a desire to buy a new phone right now, I don't think you have to be super jealous of the wide-angle camera on the iPhone 7 Plus. You've got a great camera, so get out there and take some pictures. Get a Busy Bee you can borrow. Save. All right. Did I miss anything? Boy, I have the resolution set really small on this. Oh, Tipley's is in the chat room. Yay. How's Nolan doing out there? Oh, he is. Oh, good. It's about 150 degrees outside. He's out there trying to keep the dogs quiet.
You're exaggerating, Potfeet.
How hot is it?
It was 94 at its peak, and it's down to 89.
Oh, it's only 89. All right.
We're having a bit of a heat wave in Southern California.
Oh, thank you. All right. We are now going to have a listener review. Gave my daughter one of those clip-on wide-angle lenses. Have you tested? They seem to work on her 6. Yeah, I did. I had the Olo clip when it first came out, and it worked great. I just found that I didn't carry it around. I didn't have it with me. I didn't find myself reaching for it. So yeah, they work well. Where did? Oh, that's what's wrong. Okay. There you go. Had the wrong folder ready. Get rid of that one. So we have a really, you guys got to listen to the audio of this. And from now on, I don't want anybody to make recordings with anything except their iPhone. This is audio from an iPhone, and it's amazing. Okay, where is it though? Where are you? Not Alistair. Did I leave you in the other one? Hang on. I noticed I was putting everything in last week's folder. Well, that's strange. This may not have downloaded from my mail. All right, hang on. Oh, please. Let's say. You're not talking much, Steve. Oh, Redondo Beach is 83? Yikes.
Can you hear me still?
No, but I can hear you from
afar.
Through the door.
You can hear me from afar. It's like a voice in the past, speaking to you from a distance.
Stewart. I had this downloaded, but I think it's on my other computer. This is fun. I never throw any mail away, so when Tom wrote to me, I said, "Oh wow, I haven't heard from you since 2012," because that's the last time he sent something in. That is so weird that they can hear you, Steve. I have no explanation for that. Nope, you're not going to do that, are you? Okay, we'll right-click and save. Oh, I think I need to take my Big Mac in. And that's terrifying. Come on. Google is pranking you. I think so. Well, the bad part is we did a test and I could hear him and everything was fine. There it is. Okay, let's make a new track for old Tom. I think he introduces himself. Let me check that first. All right, this is going to be Tom. I'm in here. There. Seems okay on YouTube. So weird. Okay, yeah, so check this guy's voice out. This guy is recording with an iPhone. Mail, go away now. There we go. Oh, 1 second here. Let's see. Oh, I know. No, hang on 1 second. 1 second. Oh, please. There it is. This. You've got a great camera, so get out there and take some pictures. You got a Busy Bee you can borrow.
Hi, Allison and fellow listeners. This is Tom Stewart.
Okay, that's a little bit too long. I think. You got a Busy Bee you can borrow.
Hi, Allison and fellow listeners. This is Tom Stewart again.
And that might be too close. What do you think? iPhone 7 Plus. You've got a great camera, so get out there and take some pictures. You got a Busy Bee you can borrow.
Hi, Allison and fellow listeners. This is Tom Stewart again, and I'm hoping to take a few minutes of your time to discuss a topic which has only a very slight Macintosh bias. There is no problem to be solved here, merely a way to use our computers for fun. I'm talking about flying around the world on your Mac. I can sit at my 27-inch iMac and fly wherever I want, whenever I want. And it can be an incredibly immersive experience with some of the software, hardware, and services available. First thing you need is a flight simulator program. Laminar Research produced a flight simulator for the Mac called X-Plane.
Okay, I'm not going to let you hear the whole thing, because then you won't listen to the show. You won't eat your supper. I still can't believe how good that audio is. It's crazy. All right. Thanks, Tom. This sounds so cool. I know there's a lot of flight fanatics in the NosillaCast, so I bet they're going to love this. As you've just heard, Tom's audio was spectacular. He told me he experimented with a bunch of different techniques, and guess what one he sent us? That was his iPhone using the voice memo app. Seriously, we sometimes struggle with low volume recordings, tinny headset recordings, background echo. Forget trying to do anything fancy. When you do your reviews in the future, I just want everybody who has an iPhone to just do it with a voice memo. I mean, that was amazing. Not to mention really good content and a great voice, but come on, it was great. Well, I'm absolutely overwhelmed by the response to our new Patreon campaign to support the podcast. I hesitated for a long time doing this because it's just kind of weird to ask for money, Patreon works by you going to podfeed.com/Patreon and pledging $1 amount per episode. If I produce a show, you get billed for it. If I don't, you don't pay. For many podcasters, this is a motivation to keep producing, but since the NosillaCast hasn't missed a show in more than a decade, it can be pretty darn sure your pledge will go through. Now, I'm not posting the Chit Chat Across the Pond episodes as part of Patreon, so you'll just be billed for one show a week. The NosillaCastaways are coming out of the woodwork in droves to help us pay the bills for the production of the shows. I think the most interesting thing about this is how many of you out there have pledged support that I've never talked to before. I sometimes forget the size of the audience, and I think of it as only the people who've emailed, tweeted, been to the live show, or are members of one of our communities on Facebook or Google+. I would like to in particular thank Valerie, Barry, Chris, Rushan, Robert, and Dennis for their generous contributions this week. All right. Check that interaction.
Thanks, Allison.
Thanks, Tom. This sounds like we're talking to each other.
.com. Thanks, Allison.
Thanks, Tom. This sounds so cool. I know. All right. This is going to be a nice long show. I have another long thing and then a little thing from Alistair. Let's see. There we go. Preview. Why do you keep sliding over? Okay. Here we go. When the Apple Watch Series 2 was announced, it didn't sound like that big of an upgrade to me from the original watch. I bought it anyway, mostly because Steve wanted to get a new one, and I had that dreaded fear of missing out, FOMO. It's a terrible thing. Now that I've had it for a week, I thought it'd be interesting to walk through the features of the Series 2 to see whether there's enough there to make you want to upgrade from the original Apple Watch. The Series 2 has what they're calling a second-generation OLED Retina display. Even though it has the same screen resolution, it's supposed to be 1,000 nits of brightness, which is more than double the 450 nits of the original. This did sound pretty good to me, as I have a heck of a time seeing my watch screen in broad daylight. Especially hard as I have to wear sunglasses because I can't see the watch without the sunglasses either. I put the two watches on my wrist and I tried to take a photo of them both at the same time. I tried to get them at the same angle in the sunlight and get them to come on at the same time to see if the difference in sunlight was really as perceptible as the 2x brightness numbers would suggest. I hope you appreciate the trouble I go to for you guys. The only way I could do this was to set the focus and exposure on my phone by using my nose on the camera as I'm trying to flip my wrist at the same time. All right, that was entertaining and all, but I eventually enlisted Steve to help me take a good photo to capture the difference. While the Series 2 is noticeably brighter than the original series, we call it Series 0, I don't see a 2x improvement, maybe more like 50% brighter. But hey, 50% brighter is great. The Series 2 has a built-in GPS, while the original Apple Watch must rely on the GPS in the iPhone. This matters if you want to track your location and not carry your iPhone with you. Personally, I never go anywhere without my phone because I like to get notifications. I like to be able to take photos, and on really rare occasions, I actually get phone calls on my iPhone. And then there was the time I was simply walking in the neighborhood when I tripped and smacked my head on the concrete, and I was pretty glad to have my phone with me to immediately call Steve as I had blood dripping down my face. I don't know, I suppose a neighbor could have called, but still, I was glad I could call him. I don't know that I'm representative of most users, though, because people were clamoring for GPS on the watch. The amazing thing is that Apple says the new Series 2 watch has the same 18-hour battery life as the original Apple Watch, even with that built-in GPS. We're going to come back to that later. If you care about swimming, you care deeply that the Series 2 Apple Watch is now water resistant to 50 meters of depth. And normal people would refer to that as waterproof, but these things have technical definitions, so we're going to call it water resistant. They explained on stage during the announcement that it's really hard to make something water resistant that has a speaker in it. So let's talk for a moment about how speakers actually work to explain why this is so difficult. Speakers use a basic principle of electromagnetics. If you take a coil of wire and place a cylindrical magnet inside the coil and then pass electricity through the wire, the current causes an electromagnetic field which will actually move the magnet. Interestingly enough, it works the other way around as well. You can move the magnet and cause current to flow through the wire. One of my favorite things in physics. Pretty cool stuff. Well, this is the principle on which speakers work. You have a coil of wire through which electricity is passed. When the magnet inside the coil moves, it in turn pushes a diaphragm, which in turn moves air, which creates the sound waves that you hear. That very last step is critical. Without being able to move the air, a traditional speaker can't make sound waves. So if the speaker on the Apple Watch is exposed to the hole by the hole in the side of the watch, and the watch can go underwater, how's that going to work? Well, the trick they decided to use was to have the speaker actually squirt the water out of itself to clear the diaphragm so it can move the air and provide audio again. Now that makes sense from what we just learned, right? You can put current through the wire, move the magnet, which moves the diaphragm and pushes the water out of the hole. I'm not sure they invented this idea. It's a great way to solve the problem. When I first heard about this, I wondered how this would work. Would it squirt the water out every time you took your arm out of the water when you were swimming? Or would it wait till the first time you did something that activates the speaker? So picture this, you're in a meeting after working out at lunch, and you get a notification and out of your watch squirts water all over your business suit. Neither of these two options seemed ideal. So of course, Apple thought of something better. When you start a swimming workout, your watch will automatically go into what they call water lock mode. You'll see a blue water droplet at the top of the screen. If you're going to do a different kind of workout, like let's say you want to go out for a run in the rain, you can manually turn on the water lock mode. You can swipe up from the bottom of the screen and tap the blue water droplet, or swipe from left to right to the pause stop screen to set the water lock button. When you're ready to eject the water, simply turn the digital crown. The screen will animate delightfully with little blue water droplets as the sound plays. I tried dunking my watch and then turning the crown to get it to squirt, but I wasn't able to see it yet. I'm going to keep trying though, for science. All right, we better move on, but I thought the way they handled the water problem was pretty cool. Something I haven't heard talked about is that the new Series 2 watch is actually 9% thicker and 13% heavier than the original Apple Watch. I have to say it's not at all noticeable, since that actually translates to 0.9 millimeters thicker and 3.2 grams heavier. Maybe that's why nobody's talking about it. Well, Apple made a big deal about how they put a dual-core processor S2 in the new Series 2 watch and in the new Series 1. In theory, that would make the watch a lot faster. Just like the changes with iOS 10 made older phones perform better, watchOS 3 makes the older Apple Watch work faster as well. I hadn't noticed a speed improvement with the new watch, so it was time to run some tests. I opened a whole bunch of apps on both watches at the same time. 5 of them opened at the same time on each watch. 3 opened faster on the new watch, and 3 opened faster on the old watch. One, an app called Just Press Record, opened way faster on the old watch. So as of right now, I wouldn't buy the new watch for the speed. I'm guessing, though, that app developers have not yet written their code to take advantage of the dual processor chip. You have to do multi-threading in your code to take advantage of it. So maybe things will get faster on the new watch over time. By the way, if you think you'll get maps super quick on the new watch, think again. So unless you're a swimmer or wanted GPS, I probably haven't convinced any of you to upgrade your original Apple Watches to the Series 2. But I have one observation that might make you take the plunge. Remember Apple said that the new watch will have an 18-hour battery life even though they added GPS? Well, what if you don't use the GPS, but instead let the iPhone keep performing that function by having it near the watch? Turns out you get significantly more battery life from the new watch. Battery life on the original watch might not have been a problem for you, might have been just fine. However, if you exercise a lot while running the workout app, those little green LEDs burn through battery like crazy. I work out a little more than 90 minutes a day, and several days a week my watch gives me the 10% battery level warning well before I'm ready for bed. It helpfully offers to go into battery saver mode, usually around 8 p.m. After I got the Series 2 watch, I noticed almost immediately that I was never getting that warning in the evenings. In fact, when I put it on the charger at night, I was seeing battery levels in excess of 30% left. I decided I needed to empirically test the difference in battery life on the two watches. Because I'm a scientist, I wore both watches for an entire day, one on each wrist. My first observation is that it's really annoying to wear two watches. Anyway, I checked battery life throughout the day, and the older watch slipped 10% behind the Series 2 fairly quickly. By the end of the day, the Series 2 battery was reporting 13% more battery than the original watch was reporting. This is huge to me. If you're unhappy with the current battery life, this might be big for you too. So in case you think I'm hallucinating about the battery, iFixit did a teardown of the Apple Watch Series 2, and they found a 275 milliamp hour battery compared to the original Apple Watch at 205 milliamp hours. So bottom line time, if you don't swim, if you keep your phone with you at all times, if your battery lasts long enough for you and the screen brightness is good enough for you, save your money and wait till the next model from Apple. But if any or all of those things matter to you, go for it. You're going to be happy. Plus, I got new nylon bands that are really pretty. I think I cut off my last sentence there. Save your money and wait till the next model from Apple. But if any or all of those things matter to you, go for it. You're going to be happy. Plus, I got new nylon bands that are really pretty. Okay, I did get it. What's wrong, baby? What's wrong, Forbes? I thought we needed a... Oh, give me your face. Give me your face. Oh,
He needed his minion.
there he is. There he is. She likes to purr like this. He's a purr, see?
Okay.
I think he needs a better part. That's probably the problem.
Oh no, he's gonna love this.
Is that the first belly fart on the live podcast?
I think so.
Yeah, that made him much happier.
He's really happy about that. That's what you come to the NosillaCast for: belly farts and babies.
Oh, no one's offering to take him.
Oh, good, I'm done.
Poor Nolan. I'm sitting there with the dogs.
Want this guy?
Is he big enough? Quit punching the baby, Mark says. Uh-oh.
The dog came in.
Come here, Dad.
Yep.
Come here.
You-
Let me take
I
off.
told
your phone.
Nolan yesterday he left the door
Okay.
open. I said, a lot of dog got in when you left that door open. All right, we are almost done. Almost. Tell him just a couple more minutes. Okay. All right. All right.
Your audio is terrible on that.
It is?
That's what they're saying on
You're saying it sounds bad? Oh, yeah. Well, this mic isn't the best mic either, so that might be better.
That says it's our internet.
It might be. But hey, as long as the recording works. There we go. Forbes has an internal clock. He knows it's bottle time. Well, I got a bottle. Okay, now we're going to have a little bit of Alistair Jenks. This is so cool. Have you guys gotten the iMessage sticker pack yet? Alistair, here we go. That would be more fun if the files were there. Come on. Ah, phooey. Hang on. I think they didn't sync over through iCloud. What a strange problem. That never happens, right? Nope, they're not there. That's not good. That actually could be a problem. All right. I had it open a little while ago. Hang on, please. Hey, we could test and see if I can airdrop it from the other computer. I was sitting in it. Yeah, where is Sybil? I didn't even notice he was pointing.
He may make his presence known while you're recording.
Yeah, he might. Okay,
I
think he's out.
You want me to put him out?
Oh, this is cool. Watch this really quick. Watch. There. My phone just opened my watch. Or my phone just, I'll get it yet. My watch just opened my Mac.
And it only took 18 steps.
Yeah. I'm going to do a whole bit on how fun that was.
Oh, you haven't done that yet?
No.
All right.
Okay.
Shoot, I hope I didn't reveal the punchline.
All right. So his AIFF file did not sync over. Why did that not sync over? That's weird. Hey, I tell you what. I should try airdropping it to myself. Let's see if that will work. What do you think?
All in the space-time continuum.
It's never going to work. Oh my gosh, it might. Okay. Airdrop? Did I get it? I think it worked. Okay, that might be the first time in recorded history airdrop worked flawlessly. Let's see. Flawlessly. Since iCloud failed. Hey, how many of you guys are going to let iCloud start managing all your files? That's going to be what could possibly go wrong, right? Okay. That worked. Okay, let's get Alistair in here. I think I'll put Alistair down with Tom, whose track has gotten renamed for no reason whatsoever. No, I don't want it. Maybe later. Leave me alone. All right, here we go. Move Alistair about to there. Let's see. So bottom line time. If you don't swim, if you keep your phone with you at all times, if your battery lasts long enough for you and the screen brightness is good enough for you, save your money and wait till the next model from Apple. But if any or all of those things matter to you, go for it. You're going to be happy. Plus, I got new nylon bands that are really pretty.
Greetings, fellow NosillaCastaways.
But you know what? I don't like being the one to follow Alistair. A beautiful voice. That's not good. I should have made Tom follow him. But Tom's voice is really good too. So, all right, let me bring Alistair up just a smidge right there. I don't like that auto dead silence. Matter to you, go for it. You're going to be happy. Plus, I got new nylon bands that are really pretty.
Greetings, fellow NosillaCastaways. Alistair here from New Zealand with a little bit of fun for those of you who have already upgraded your devices to iOS 10. If you've been watching the recent announcements and coverage, you'll probably know that Apple have put quite a bit of time and effort into enhancing the Messages app for use on the iMessage service. You can use apps and messages to send money to a friend, collaborate on a to-do list, or exchange rich content like restaurant or movie details. But far more importantly, you can now use neat effects like lasers and slams to spice up your basic conversations and, of course, add stickers. For the new features, stickers seems to be burgeoning the most, and the simple reason for this is that they're really easy for developers to make. If you're already an Apple developer, making a sticker pack is as simple as creating a new sticker pack project in Xcode and providing the images for the stickers, along with various sizes of icon to represent your sticker app. That's pretty much it. Now, if you're not a registered developer, you could download Xcode, make your sticker pack, and load it on your own device for no outlay. But, well, Xcode is on the same list of applications with iTunes when it comes to the users loving it. So I don't recommend it unless you're prepared to geek out a bit. But what if you have some serious need for sticker goodness and you're also a dyed-in-the-wool NosillaCastaway? Well, I'm pleased to tell you that I have, with Alison's blessing, created a NosillaCastaway sticker pack, which contains stickers for each of Alison's podcasts, plus the infamous Podfeet logo. And we're planning on adding some more stickers soon. On iOS 10, simply head to the App Store and search for NosillaCast to find the sticker pack. Look for the Podfeet, or there's a link in the show notes. They're free to download. If you'd like to hear more from me, you can find most of my stuff over at zkarj.me, including the once again relaunched Sitting Duck podcast for you music lovers, and my other App Store offerings like the newly launched Night Clock app. Greetings, fellow.
Yep. Don't need to hear that twice. So get the sticker packs. They're fun. I can't believe you did this for me. I think it's so cool. They're really hilarious. The feet are good, and the little ninja's hilarious. All right, we're in the home stretch, guys. Here we go. I know that stickers are silly, but gosh darn it, it's good to take a break from the concerns of the world and just be silly sometimes. So I think it does solve a problem. Thanks, Alistair. This is really cool. We've been having a lot of fun with it. By the way, Steve and I both have been using Alistair's night clock, and it's awesome. It does one thing and does it well. You get a beautifully simple analog clock in a mellow color of your choosing. It stays on all night, so you don't have to play with the phone to check the time. If you like Alistair's work for the show and his own podcast and blog, check out the night clock in the App Store. And I put a link in the show notes, of course, to that. Well, that's going to wind us up this week. Do not forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and suggestions by emailing me at allison@podfeet.com. Follow me on Twitter @podfeet. Remember, everything good starts with podfeet.com/Patreon, podfeet.com/Facebook, podfeet.com/Google+, podfeet.com/Amazon. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, where do you think it is? podfeet.com/live. You can go there on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time, like Lindsay and Forbes and Nolan and Dodger and Tesla did tonight, and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening, and stay subscribed. Hi, Mark. Ooh, daughter and granddaughter dropped in. That sounds fun. All righty. Well, let's see. Go see what I've done here. Now, how about here? Check that intersection. Wait, no, we already checked that one. How about this one? See how that sounds?
I'm going to let him know that
I know that
sound
stickers
isn't
are
a problem.
silly, but gosh darn it, it's good to take a break.
It's like the newly launched Night Clock app.
I know that stickers are. Was Steve trying to tell me something? Oh, for Noah, yeah. He's not banished anymore. If you want the AC back on.
Launched Night Clock app.
I know that sticker. All right. So let's see. I'm going to fold this up. Looks like you guys were chatty tonight, Steve.
Very chatty.
I missed everything. Everybody's in the backyard having a beer. It's nice and warm out. Oh, dogs. The dogs are here. I give you a shout out at the end. Oh, now he's happy. Hi, sweetie pie. Hi, sweetie. Isn't he the best? Does he want to sit here while I work?
Yeah.
Oh, betcha. Oh, betcha. Oh, betcha. There you go. Oh, we'll put you there. All right. So let's see how I do the editing at the end. Yeah. Here we are. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And we're going to, if I hit it a bunch of times, expands it. And then I take that diagonal and I got to get that right on the end. Folks, I'm trying to teach you how this works.
He looks really good.
Yeah, he looks great. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. All right. That's the end. And what? What?
Are you done?
What? Oh, it's not for my hypothesis, isn't it? Oh. I have a way with him. A way with children. Whiplash, I know a lawyer. Soon he says he doesn't like sausage. All right, well, my whole family has lost interest in this. What are we doing here? There we go. Save. Okay, file. Oh no, we got to do a bounce tracks to new file. 2 babes and a baby. Oh, nice. Is it going? No, it didn't do anything. Sound, bounce document to new file. And it's doing absolutely nothing. I am not causing that. That yelling, that's not me. What is going on here? Save. Oh, it was doing it. It was just taking forever. Okay. Well, that was lucky. Our dogs fight like you cannot believe. Oh, shoot. That's not what I meant to do. Cancel. I want to do that as an AI. Our dogs fight like to the death. I mean, they look like they're trying to kill each other, and they're just having fun. You can't hear any yelling? Oh, you hear the dogs up? Yep. All right, guys. Well, I am going to finish the show here because we're going to go off to Callahan's and have ourselves some fun. So I will talk to you guys again next week. I hope I get a show done. I'm going to be playing here. We'll see how it works out. If anybody wants to do a review, now you know how to do it. Just take your iPhone, talk into it for a while. We don't even care what you say. All right, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.